Welcome back, everybody. We're now ready to go ahead and make our mock-up. And one of the things that I thought of when trying to prepare to do this mock-up on what the subject should be and what I should do it with, I kind of thought on the last project that we were doing it with school, so I thought it'd be a nice thing to go ahead and do education for this mock-up. And one of the leaders right now in online education, by sheer coincidence, would be Google. And if you guys recall, we did our business card demo, and we have some of the information already from Google, such as their logo and some of their information already, basic information. So I thought to go look to see, and this is what if you're doing this for a client and they have like a website, that you should go check out their website and see what they have. And knowing that we're going to be talking about what they offer with online education, I kind of went ahead and looked for some graphics, maybe get some text from their website to use in this mock-up. So let's go to the website real quick. And here's Google for Education. And I figure what I can do is I can go ahead and use what they have, G Suite for Education, and make that into a brochure for them as a mock-up. And let's see how this works out for us. So I actually went to what they have to offer under G Suite for Education, and they have a whole set of tools for the classroom. So using this and gathering some of the info ahead of time, I went ahead and made a text file with some of the highlights from that website. And here's what I got. And some of these are like key ideas that we can incorporate into our brochure. Now I've already taken the information from the business card, and I went ahead and copied that over and did a little bit of formatting. So this is what I have. Most of this is from that business card. Just went ahead and redid it. Put the website down there. I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of this and just kind of pop it up there. And then we'll just get rid of what we don't need. Now, some of the graphics that we can use in this layout, we can get from their website, or we can go ahead and get some stock graphics from some of our resources that we have available to us. Now let me show you some of the graphics that I have that I feel that might work on this brochure. And these are some stock photos that I found. And some of these are right off their website. These are all mixed on things that I think we can use. And some screenshots that I captured since I was there. And one thing I was going to say is don't be afraid to take screenshots off their videos. Now, over here, they had a video that you can play, and I went ahead and brought this up on YouTube. It's a YouTube video. And I went ahead and took a screen capture of that. Now the nice thing about them already have videos is it's a good tie-in. The graphics that they use on the website, the videos they use on the website, that you have those available to you when you do your mockup. It's a great tie-in. So I just want to share that with you. And that I have done this on shows that we have done in the past, or like a video podcast we're going to do. We can actually take a screenshot of part of the show and then make that into a thumbnail and put it in there. So in this instance, I went ahead and took a screenshot of the video, which matches the actual YouTube video that they have on the website. So I'm going to go ahead and place some of this stuff in here. Now, one thing when we were talking about setting this layout up is we're going to be sharing the same fonts. And it's always good, and it's a good rule of thumb, by the way, that you only use a couple of fonts in your layout, maximum. And when we're dealing with a lot of text we're getting from a bunch of different places, it's a good habit to actually use paragraph styles and character styles. Now first, let me show you where to get them or get access to them. And then we'll define what they are and how to apply that. Now to find it, it's right under type, and you'll see there's character styles and paragraph styles. So let's go ahead and select one. And I've actually selected them both already. And so here they are. And you can have them as separate, but I like to kind of keep them together. And you can do that just by clicking the different panels and merging them into one. And I like it so that paragraph styles and character styles are in the same area. And you can actually mount that over so when you access this area, you'll see that both panels are on there. Okay? But for now, I'm going to pull this off. And let's go ahead and let's talk about the difference between a paragraph style and a character style. Now, the paragraph style is made for all the type that is in your layout. And it's important that if you're doing a long layout, and this is more than just one page, so it makes sense to go ahead and use that and go and set up your basic paragraph styles. And like I said, the paragraph style is defined just how it sounds. It's for the whole paragraph. Character styles, on the other hand, is for specific characters or specific words that you want to be different sitting in the paragraph. let me show you how that works. Let's go to paragraph style, and let's start with this set of text down here. So this is taken off of the business card, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight that first line, and you'll see on the top there that it is set at Arial with 12 point size, and it is set to auto leading. Okay, now what we can do is we can come down and let's go ahead and create a new style, and let's double click that, and it'll bring up the information on what we want it to be. We can give it a new name if we want. Okay, well, I'll just go and leave that alone for now, but we can go ahead and rename that. And we come to the next one down, which is basic characters. Now, since we have this line already highlighted, it picks up that information and throws this up here already. Okay, we can get some of the advanced features, how we want the alignment and everything to be. Now, with this part here, we have it centered, but we really don't want all the type to be centered. We want to go ahead and have to be on left hand. So we have a choice of either making two styles, or we can override the one that we're going to create right now. So in this instance, let's go ahead and make it left alignment. Okay, so it aligns to the left. And one other thing we want to make sure in this demo, that the hyphenation is turned off, because we really don't want the type to hyphenate. Some people like it hyphenated, some people don't. I prefer it not to hyphenate if we don't have to. Okay, so with this basic setup, let's go ahead and say okay, and you'll notice that this automatically went to the left. Okay, so I'm going to highlight everything, and we're going to set it to paragraph style 1, which will make everything go to the left hand side. Now I'm going to go ahead and highlight this text again, and we're going to override it by telling that we want it to be centered. And when we override it, if you'll notice on the paragraph style now, it has that little plus on it. Okay, and what that tells us is when we do this, that it's been overridden. Now, if you get text in there and it has that on there, and you want to remove what you have done, okay, you can do the option click to clear, or we can go ahead and clear it here. Okay, that's up to you. So if you do that, there you go. It goes back to what this was originally defined. And we can leave it that way, or like I said, we're going to override it. So I'm just going to undo what we did. And that plus comes back. Okay. Now, this whole block has been defined as paragraph style 1, but if you'll notice that this top part has that bold on it, and we want to be able to make sure that this bold part we can do throughout the whole brochure. Okay, and to be able to change it all in one definition. Now, because that's sitting inside of the paragraph, we don't want all the paragraph to be bold, so we're going to actually switch over to our character style, and we're going to create a brand new character style just by clicking on the plus. And when we do that, it comes up, and if I double click it, you'll see we can actually give it another name if we want to, and we can go ahead and put titles on there. Under the basic format, you'll see that since we have this selected, it brings that attribute on there. But if you see that it doesn't bring the attribute of what the font is and what the size is, because that was basically already defined in our paragraph styles. Make sense? Good. So the only difference that we're doing here is we're changing whatever that is to bold. So let's go ahead and say OK. And now if we click on the type here, you'll see that it has no character styles on it. And when we go to for education, that it's set to bold. Now, just like we set this to centered, okay, we want to go ahead and center that as well. And that doesn't change because it doesn't get a plus on it. And the reason is because we've changed how the paragraph is, not how the character style is. Okay, and that's the main difference on there. We're doing the alignment, and that's part of the paragraph. That's why now this has a plus on it, but the character has nothing on it. Now, one trick that I want to share with you is about this inner panel here that gets folded into the second page. If we go to the second page, you'll see that I've already placed, here's this graphic that I got off the video. And what you can do is design how that flap is going to look like and how it sits on this page when you're opening it up. Remember how I said that the different presentations, how they look when it's completely folded, and as you're opening it up, it's a presentation onto itself, depending on what's open. And this page here is when it's completely open. You can see that I used a common picture across all three panels, which will work because, like I said in the previous video, this is meant to be viewed all together in one piece. So you can have this crossover no problem. Now to see what the panel, when you open it up, it's going to be basically where this middle one is. We can kind of get an idea of what it'll look like. Let's go ahead and just crop this photo all the way down to where it folds at. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in a potential piece I'm going to use for the middle panel. Alright, and now I'm thinking about using this photo and this piece of text in here. So, by putting it over on this page, it gives me an idea of what this will look like sitting side by side when you're opening it up. Now, this is where the fold is. Since this flap will come over, this is the white part that will be right at that edge or close to that edge. So that gives you a good indication of how it's going to work for you, okay, when it's sitting side by side. And I think it'll be okay. So if you take that, and let's go ahead and cut that, and go back to our first page. Once you're comfortable with it, you can come back up and then just paste and position it over so that it's in its panel. Okay. And one thing I didn't realize is that, that's right, this is the shorter one. So you got to make sure that the text and the graphic fits within that panel. Okay? And then we can go back and take this photo, stretch that all the way back out. And then we can continue on. Now, I think this is a good stopping point for me. I think you get the idea on where we're going with this. And we just need to turn around and finish putting all the information in. And then we'll come back and explore what the finished piece actually looks like. And that'll give you time to think about what you want to do with this layout. Now, what I didn't mention in the beginning, but I'll mention it now, that you're more than welcome to use the Google for Education as your mock-up, but it'll also give you the opportunity to do your own custom layout. So you don't have to do the Google for Education mock-up. You can make your own mock-up on whatever service or product or organization that you want. I'll leave that up to you. Okay? All right, we'll go ahead and stop here, and I'll show you what I finally come up in our next video, and I'll give you a few days to work on this, and then I'll come back and I'll show you my finished mock-up for this project. We'll see you in the next video.